He wants to call off my divorce because my cancer treatment was successful when I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. He filed for divorce because he said it would be too much to take care of me. In my province you have to live separately and apart for 1 year before a divorce is granted. Since he left I've had surgery and chemotherapy and my latest checkup shows no evidence of disease. When he found that out he applied in court to withdraw the divorce application. He told me we can stay married since I'm no longer sick and was actually shocked when I blocked the divorce withdrawal petition through my own lawyer. I don't want to be married to him after what he did.
Do y'all men really like to do the chasing? Lil vent upcoming. My crush told a friend of ours that he isn't that interested in me anymore because he thinks that I'm too easy to get. I got so pissed when I heard that. What the hell does that even mean? Like he showed interest in me, I showed interest back, we flirted and stuff and now he doesn't want me cause I'm too easy to get. I'm seriously confused. FYI, I asked him on a date a few days ago and he said, we can do that, but I forgot to ask HIL when he can go on the date. I'm not going to ask him that again since I heard about the being too easy thing. FYI too, I'm not flirty with everyone. I'm a really picky person. Edit, I'm not gonna change for him. I know every man is different but I asked a few of my male friends about this situation and they all told me that they love the chase. That's why I'm confused. Even my dad told me that.
I offered to let my mom live with me, under the exact same terms I lived with her as a teen. I don't know why in God's good name my mom thought I would be the one to come to. We don't get along. I went to live with Dad at 16 because she told me she hated me and kicked me out. My older brother, the golden child, I know for a fact has a spare bedroom she could sleep in now that she's losing the house. My mom's situation is entirely her own fault as well, which makes this all the more annoying. She and my stepdad bought a 7-bedroom house 10 years ago, right after she left her job of 20 years to work at some stupid startup that was out of business only 3 years later. My stepdad spent the last years of his miserable life bedbound because he ignored every doctor telling him to stop shoving his face full of food at every waking moment of the day. So, he died 500 pounds and in misery. I was more than fine with this, by the way. Well, when he died early this year it pretty much drained the last of the money my moron of a mother had remaining, and now the bank's taking the house back. So, she shows up at my door for some reason. After mistreating me since I was a kid, and ignoring me unless she wanted something since she married that thankfully dead land whale. She had the nerve to ask to live with me. It's only me and my husband in our 2-bedroom house, sure. But that spare bedroom is his office, the basement's my art studio, and the couch in front of the fireplace is for our lovely cats. There is no room for the wicked hag anywhere in this house. But, I knew this opportunity would never come again. So, I told her she could live with us, if, and only if she decided to follow the house rules. All electronics were to be turned off by 6 p.m. If she was caught with any after that they would be taken away and sold at the next yard sale. Bedtime was 7:30, if I caught her up I would take away all of her clothing for the week. She may only shower for 5 minutes, once every 3 days all chores must be done the moment she wakes up. If I roll out of bed and they are not, she will not be getting meals for the day. She must make sure she is alert at all times. If I and hubby need something done, it is to be done at that moment, or else she will lose her bedding privileges for the night. She will be in charge of cooking one meal each day, that I choose. If it is not made to my liking she will not be allowed to join us and instead will eat the cheapest frozen meal available. I will be reading all her mail, text messages, and emails. I will give her the ones I deem acceptable communication under my roof. Her car will be my own personal travel car, she will also drive me wherever I want. She will still have to pay for gas. And, last but not least, if at any point she displeases me, I will be calling my brother up to pick her up from a nearby gas station. I will get to choose what she takes to put in a torn-up backpack before dropping her off without looking back. She called me a monster, told me these conditions were inhuman, and asked if I was insane. These were the exact conditions I lived under for years as a teenager. The exact conditions she tormented me with for years until she finally let me go live with the one parent that loved me. And these would be the conditions she would suffer under if she dared to ask me to home her worthless, joy-sucking soul. I don't know where she went after she stormed out of my house. My brother called me and told me I have the biggest balls in the family for the stunt I pulled. From the sounds of it though, none of the spawn want the brood mother to live with them. I hope she finds a nice park bench to stay on.
I think my boyfriend was in an incestuous relationship with his sister. I know this sounds ridiculous, but listen before you call me insane. I'm writing this because I can't sleep. I have dated him for a year. He's Italian and I am an American student in Rome. Looking back, there has been signs even early on. I took all of this as cultural at first. On one of our first dates, we were talking about our families and he showed me a picture of his sister and raved about her beauty. She is actually gorgeous, she's a classic Italian beauty and very chic. I was jealous of her then, but had no idea where this was going to go. I have only been around her a handful of times, but she has made it clear she does not approve of us dating. She's icy, distant, and hostile. She has said in front of me that he should be with an Italian. She speaks several languages including English, but every time I've tried to talk to her in English, she replies in Italian, "You are in Italy, speak Italian." She once told me, he'll be gone soon. My boyfriend is openly very affectionate with her. He dances with her and whispers in her ear, kisses her cheek and the side of her mouth, hugs her closely. Every time I've seen them together, he's brought her a nice gift. People here are generally affectionate, but everything combined is off. Once at a family dinner, I was helping his mom with the food and he and his sister went out on the patio. I looked out and she was sitting on his lap. What sister does that? I also have seen her caress his bare chest at the beach. This same time at the beach, he carried her in the water with her legs wrapped around his waist and his hands were practically on her ass. If they did this when they thought I couldn't see, what do they do when they're really alone? He's also gotten into a physical fight with her boyfriend, but I'm not sure what it was over. Earlier tonight my feeling got a lot worse. He never leaves his phone sitting around, but he did this time. He got a message from her and I looked over. She said, "My heart is yours, my king." And, we were made for each other. I left without telling him. He blew up my phone, but I have no idea what to say to him. This has been my best relationship, but this cannot be normal, can it? I am sick to my stomach and feel mortified thinking about this.
Is my girl cheating or am I being toxic? My GF went out yesterday with a rich guy in his supercar. He offered her to let her drive the car because that's my girlfriend's dream car. She obviously wanted to, so she said yes. When she told me, I was excited for her, but I felt concerned because I do not know this guy. So I told her to have fun but to be careful. I was worried the whole night because she would text me back once every hour. At 9:30 she said they were going to eat something and then almost an hour later she said the place was closed, so they were going to a different place. She ended up getting home almost at 12. I hate feeling like she's keeping something from me, but I can't confront her because I don't want to be toxic. Edit, I wasn't gonna post an update but many of you requested it, so here it goes. I asked her how her night went and things didn't go as well as I thought they would. She started to tell me about how much she admires him, about how cool his car is. She even said that they got lost in the highway because they took the wrong exit, and left the details halfway. She was with him from 7:40 to almost 12 o'clock. And only told me what happened from 7:40 to 8:30. That's when I told her how uncomfortable that made me feel. I told her that even if she didn't intend for it to be a date, she basically agreed to it anyway. At first she got defensive talking about trust and shit. She even said that she lost track of time and that she wasn't paying attention to her phone as much because he was telling her stories about how he got so rich. It got me so mad that I ended up raising my voice at her, telling her how the whole thing was disrespectful to me. At the end she started crying and apologized for not texting me more often and or calling me at any point. She also acknowledged that staying with him for that long wasn't right. But then she went on Twitter, posted a tweet that went like, "I can't believe I'm feeling bad for achieving one of my dreams." When I saw it, I told her, "Your dream is to have that car, not just to drive it once in your life." That's all so far. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm about to drive to see her. Thank you everyone that actually had good intentions with your advice. I might have to hit the gym after this. Ice.
Love or jealousy at first sight? I was 16, young and cold-hearted on the outside, but deep down, like all other teenage girls, even I wished to be loved. It was a Sunday evening, exams were over, so I was desperately waiting to visit my favorite place, a place where I often went in search of peace. The love comics on the wall, the small wooden coffee tables, the cute little bean bags, the soft music, the light-colored walls, the humble staff and the sweet aroma of coffee were the only things I could think about. When I reached, I was astonished to see a horde waiting outside the cafe. My anxiousness made me jump from the bike and interrogate the manager about the situation. Luckily it was nothing but a power cut. I had no choice other than waiting and cursing myself for coming alone. I soon started frisking around. And there I saw a guy arriving on his bike wearing red t-shirt and black tracks, with a gym bag on his shoulders, tall, fair and handsome. I was bewitched by his charm. No sooner did I notice a girl from the crowd calling his name and walking towards him. The smile on his face made it very obvious that it was none other than his girlfriend. Seeing them together made me feel low. Waiting there any longer was next to impossible, so I just drove back home. He was a complete stranger, I knew nothing about him, but then too, seeing him with a girl made me feel like I had pit in my stomach. All of a sudden I had lost my appetite and getting sleep was even harder. And there it was, the brain and the heart clash. My brain stopped me as he was with someone, but my heart wanted to talk to him, to get to know him. There were a lot of questions going on inside me, but the question which kept me awake for several nights was it jealousy or love at first sight? End.